Are you and Rick having like an ookie off? Like who can be ookier between the two of you?
What?
An ookie off?
I'm liking all these. I'm on the same page.
I don't even know what that means.
Dude, I just want a t-shirt that says ookie off.
So we got tourist trapped?
No prostitutes, though.
That was awkward. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us Under the Library. We are an actual play homebrewed Call of Cthulhu podcast written by our keeper. With no scripts and no editing, we are building our story collaboratively in the moment. If you like what we do here and would care to support it, head over to underthelibrary.com/support. There you can pick up our first module. It is called The Snake's Oil. Set in Season 1 of this show, featuring Season 1 characters and NPCs, and it would do us a lot of good. Again, that's underthelibrary.com/support. With that, let's get to a show. My name's Art. I am playing Buddy. I am joined by Emily as Colette, Wayne as Sister B, Scott as Johnny, Rick as Sam, and as always, our keeper is Michael. Michael, the show is yours.
Thanks, Art. Under the Library is a horror tabletop role-playing game set in the Call of Cthulhu universe with horror and other unsettling imagery. We feature mature themes played by immature people. Not safe for Scott is your signal. The following information will be graphic. If you're concerned, skip ahead, but stick with us. And if you'd wear a shirt that says Ookie off, you're probably in the right place. And with that, I'll pass it over to Emily for last week's recap.
I got scared there for a minute. Thought he wasn't going to send it over.
I was worried about that too. He was waiting for me to cricket him.
Well, regardless, after leaving the dining car, Buddy rushed back to the compartment to further question the book. He asked it about the illness that Sam suspected is spreading, and it answered with a series of inscrutable pictures and patterns. Days pass, and as the train drew closer to Bloodstone, Johnny and Colette talked about Eddie, his notes, and his plans for the future of the investigation in Bloodstone. They also spoke to Sam, who shared his own connections to the town. On another train, Sister B woke, head pounding, and noticed that the train had slowed. She heard voices yell outside. They had noticed the open door of her car, and she realized that she's been unconscious a long time. As our episode drew to a close, Johnny, Colette, and Sam realized that the only way to answer their questions about Eddie's plans would be to talk to Buddy, who has been strangely withdrawn, holed up in the rear compartment with the strange book.
All right, let's jump right on that train with Sister B.
Okay. It's slowing down. So this is where Sister B will have to do. She hears a siren, so that's never a good thing. So she goes toward its open door. But on her way, because this is where she realizes she has to evacuate the train, probably pretty quick as it's slowing down and such like that. She grabs one of the or the better, she doesn't want to call him a mannequin, this one of these bodies, and she puts her arms around it, and it's one with some arms and maybe a leg. It doesn't have, whatever it is, mostly humanoid, and she yanks it and pulls it down, and she wants to separate it from its coupling up top. How heavy is it?
Ooh, it hits the ground. Let's make just give me a luck roll. We'll take a luck roll on this one.
Ooh, got that one with a 21, so we're okay.
Okay, and so it's not so much she's able to pull it down as there's just a clasp right at the base of right below the neck that it hooks into the body, and she's able to unhook it essentially. It's incredibly heavy, though. It hits the ground with a thud. You're
Mhm.
probably guessing this one weighs 40 to 50 pounds.
Oh, okay. Not over 100 or anything like that. So
Yeah.
she could lift it, but the more important, she then pushes it because she's still dizzy. She leans over and pushes it towards the open door, and as things are slowing down, she flings the body with good force out the door, so it looks like someone has jumped from the train. And at that,
Okay.
she wheels back to where she had the tarp, her little tarp from the porthole up top, and she makes her way up to the little porthole up top that she had made her way into this whole freight car
Okay.
in.
All right.
And go ahead.
And what she pushed off, sorry, I should have been a little more clear. It's just like
Mhm.
a head and a torso. There's no like arms or legs or anything attached.
Oh, I thought
to
some
it.
of them had arms, legs. Okay.
Yeah. And so this head and torso goes flying out the window or out the door, and as she climbs up to the roof and picks her head up through, she's realizing that you came through a kind of a fenced outpost.
Mm-hmm.
And if you turn and look the other way, the train's headed into a building.
Okay. So she doesn't want to go into the building. So at this,
It's moving a lot slower at this point, though, right? It's not
Right.
going to barrel. And so imagine kind of a train at its crawling speed as it.
gearing down. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So she closes the lid to cause a little confusion, like if how did this open? So she closes the lid for the porthole as she gets up there, and she would grab her suitcase and then make her way down the ladder, so she's in between two cars, chugging along, and then she would look to her right and look to her left, and whichever side seemed more desolate, like if there's one side with buildings and such and maybe a road and things like that, if the other side is more tumbly weedy, whichever one is less traversed, that's the way she's going to jump.
Oh, okay. I see what. So she's. Oh, I see. She's looking out both sides.
So yep.
Yep.
So to her right and to her left. So for instance, like on one side, maybe where
Yep.
she heard the voices, there's maybe a service road or something like that. If the other side doesn't have that, don't know.
Yeah, and it would be the same side that she pushed the body out of. So
okay.
to her left, essentially.
Okay, that's what I was
if
thinking.
she's looking
Okay.
back, if she's looking
Yep.
back towards the fence, it's to her left.
Okay, and so then she will have her suitcase and she will make a tumble for it, and from the train,
Right.
hopefully not at a super brisk pace, and look for an opportunity, obviously not into terrible gravel or cactuses.
Okay. And what kind of acrobatics noteworthy skill does she have that would facilitate this jump off of the train?
This would be her ability to dismount from uneven bars and all the other things that were sort of in her gymnastics world in the past.
Yeah,
Jumping
so
from trucks.
Give me a dex roll with that then.
That's Sister to Be's specialty. So she hurls herself out, goes into ball, and successfully hurls an 86, which misses it.
No. Oh, Sister B.
Well done, Sister B. Well done. So she dismounts to the side, and the train is moving just slightly faster than she anticipated, or maybe it's just some of the wobbliness from being out for so long. She's not able to kind of judge it like she normally would, and she lands awkwardly, hitting kind of the gravel on the ground and tumbling along. And her suitcase bursts open, and the contents of the suitcase spill all over the ground.
Oh, that's fun.
and on that, we'll cut over to our train moving into New Bloodstone.
Is it actually pulling into town?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Again, like kind of at the same pace. So in this nice cinematic moment, the trains are both coming to a slow stop at their destinations.
Okay. Buddy's going to be packing up his stuff. putting his copy of Maltese Falcon into a shoulder bag, and probably keep the Atlas too, because there might be some interesting information in there. Throw that in his larger bag and put it over his shoulder and start heading out.
Okay.
Colette doesn't have much to pack, so she's probably already done.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got my suitcase, one suitcase. So it's all packed up, and then I got just a bag, briefcase kind of thing that also comes with me.
I am likely being dragged off by Amos with Cheryl and tow.
And as you spill off the train, you're in a train station, which looks like it could be 50 years old. And there's a couple of horses kind of stamping outside in the dusty air, with stagecoaches attached to them. And there's people on top of the stagecoaches, and there's a sign along the train station right there saying New Bloodstone. And as y'all pile off the train, a really rough looking fellow that looks like he's seen better days yells at you in a very kind of, in this moment of disconnect between how he looks and how he sounds, says, "And welcome to New Bloodstone, all you newbies. You're gonna have a fine time. Head on to the stagecoaches and we'll get you right on into town." And there's about on the train. The train's gonna keep going on. There's only probably about Amanda gets off with y'all, and maybe 4 or 5 other people.
I'd probably head, my guess is, to the very first stagecoach, and Amos would probably, I'm guessing, be wanting to sit up front or on top.
Oh my God. Can I ride in front? Can I ride in front? I want to. And no, son, you got to ride in the stagecoach. Unfortunately, we're wild, but we ain't that wild.
And I turn and I kind of say, "Are you sure I'd ride with him on my lap? I'd be able to hold on to him."
Oh.
And he says, "Well, when we get to New Bloodstone, we'll give you all the rules about what you can and can't do. But for your ride in, I want you to sit back and enjoy it."
Okay, is that
all right?
So
I don't know if that's a yes or no, because if I don't know the right rules to Bloodstone, it means I'm not breaking anything if I sit up front with you with my boy. But I'll do whatever we need to do. That's fine.
Well, here, hang on. Let's see what he does. All right. He goes, "You know what? On second thought,
hot damn!
You look like you can sit on a stagecoach. You hop right on up."
All right. Well, I'd hop up there with Amos and I'd move all the luggage in, and take the bags from Cheryl and everything, and get her in the lift her hand, and get her into the stagecoach safely, and
And a nicely metaphorical moment as the camera cuts back to the other 3. Cheryl sitting alone in the back of the stagecoach while Sam and Amos are sitting in the front with the driver. Thanks for that, Rick. I appreciate it.
So good.
Amazing.
So not just really quickly, but when we get off and I see these things, like, I think my jaw drops to the floor. Like,
Yeah.
like my jaw, like I was in, like I'm a New York City FBI agent. I spent 100% of my life there. I'm dealing with a mob. Like I've seen coaches in Central Park, but not like big stage coaches. And I'm gonna go to like Buddy and Colette. I'm gonna be like, what the hell is this? Do they not have cars out here?
I don't know. It's pretty cool though, right?
It's something. It's a little weird. Is this a tourist thing? Or they?
No
And
idea.
catching your surprise, the guy who was yelling to everybody walks right up to you, Johnny, sticks out a big firm hand, but he's rough looking, right? And he says, "Welcome to New Bloodstone, sir. Looks like you're just finding your way around here. Why don't you get in? Phil's the name. You jump in my stagecoach and I'll have you right into town."
That sounds like a good deal, Phil. I got to say, I was not expecting a stagecoach. I thought I'd maybe get a cab or something. Is this what passes as a cab out here?
A cab? Why, what's a cab? And he gives you a little like kind of wink and a nod.
All right, I got you. All right, so I'll just get in the back.
Okay. And so you're getting in the stagecoach with Cheryl?
No, I'm going to be with Buddy and Colette wherever they go.
Yeah.
Okay. Are y'all all going to get?
If there's is there only one stagecoach?
No, there's a couple because there's other passengers from the train. What'd they say? 4 or 5 other passengers.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, if 4 people can sit inside a stagecoach, we might as well get in with Colette, with Cheryl. Sorry.
Sure.
Rather than, strangers.
Sure.
And Amanda, can I squeeze in with y'all?
Sure. I think
this is
scoot over a little
exciting.
bit.
This is really wonderful. I can't wait to see what all this is about. And as the you hear the yeah and the horses start to kick off, and you feel the rumble of the stagecoach as y'all move towards town.
And then we hear, "Oh, little Amos," and then the thing goes.
Oh, he fell, Cheryl. He fell.
But as we're driving, Colette would probably ask Amanda about this town. Like, did you know there were stagecoaches? What's going on here?
And so as you're talking to her, there's a giant rock, a massive rock that you pass as you're headed on your way into town. And she's kind of writing away as she looks around, and she says, well, I've heard all about this place and wanted to visit for years, but I haven't. And I haven't actually met anybody who's been here, but everybody talks about it.
So is it like a theme park?
Kind of. But I thought we might have to pay for something, but I think it's a little weird we haven't had to pay for anything yet. Did y'all make reservations?
No.
Not yet. No, we don't know where we're staying.
And so she's just kind of keep jotting notes, and she's looking around as y'all are rumbling on into town.
Okay. Was there anything in the atlas about this?
In
the big atlas,
the new one that you have.
Yeah.
Let me see. Sure. Yeah, I guess there was.
Okay.
It was marked. There was Bloodstone, and then there was New Bloodstone.
Okay. And are they in the same spot?
No.
Okay. How far apart are they? I know you told us this at one point, but
Yeah. So essentially, think of New Bloodstone as where the group got off on the trail.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So it's like halfway between there and Deadwood.
Okay.
Oh, then what was the big rock? I guess I thought you were calling back to the big rock.
I am.
That was in
it seems they've recreated it.
Oh.
Interesting. And is there any description of what the town is?
No, it's just marked in the atlas. Like
okay, great. It's just on a map.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just says New Bloodstone.
Okay.
All right, we'll cut back to Sister B as the wheels kick up dust, and there's banter in the front of the stagecoach between Phil and Sam.
Great.
Wait, the guy leading it's named Phil?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Wasn't the person who really wanted to help me with the whiskey also named Phil?
Oops.
Just a lot of Phils going around, coming back to New Bloodstone.
I think it's perfect. Like every other character should be named Phil.
Yeah.
In fact, didn't I have a character named Phil?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Disposable NPCs named Phil.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
I just went to the little GM dispenser and it keeps cranking out fills.
I guess it's all filled up. All right, please move on.
Ah!
All right, Sister B.
No sister to be, so she tumbled and hurt herself. Her suitcase comes smashing open, and contents of is coming out. So her extra habit, and there would be cash coming out too, because she had plenty of cash in there, and hopefully the maybe secret compartment didn't come all the way undone. But she makes her way over to it and would quickly grab her favorite gun that would be in there, would put it in pocket, and some ammunition, and she probably can't carry the whole suitcase because she looks around, is anyone coming? So that's the big thing, time.
She hears footsteps and they're coming and sees some people running. So from where the train came through, right when you were on the top, you saw the fence, and she sees some people in the distance and
running towards her from that distance. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, if she has a moment, she will try to I guess maybe give her if you want to give her just a luck roll or something to try to close the suitcase and snap it shut, and then would grab it if she has a moment.
That's reasonable. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can grab your suitcase, but all the other stuff, the money and the
think a few things that but there might be a few other, but I don't know. Maybe there's you know what? Time to move on from the suitcase. She'll leave it. She has her mouser and some ammunition. The hell with it. She leaves it. It's not important at this point with all the things that have gone on. Yes, she's in preservation mode, and also this feels like an army base. So her thing, this is for her mindset is when the nuns would be taken by the Russians, the Soviets, they would go to places like this with fences, and there would be men in uniform. So she is she'd be on super high adrenaline to get out of this place, and so this anything goes. So she would turn and look for cover or a way towards the fence.
Okay, the fence is about 50 feet to her left.
Oh,
it's a high chain link, barbed at the top fence.
Okay. She would make her way over to fence and quickly scoot along it and looking at the bottom of the fence, where the bottom of the fence goes into ground, because fences that have been there for a long time or any animals that would have gone under it, she's looking for a weak point where there's maybe just a slight dip in the soil and it's not quite as connected to the ground as it should be.
Yeah, that sounds pretty much like luck to me, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
All right.
So she's going to scoot along and see how well they tended to the bottom of their fence compared to the top. And that didn't work.
And there is a weak spot, or not a weak spot, but a spot where it looks like the chain links become detached from a post. But you hear behind you, "Hey, stop!
She turns, and what is he dressed in?
Military uniform.
She shoots him. Simple as that.
Wow.
Day is done.
That's
no hesitation.
That's some Sam Wagoneer behavior.
I was gonna say it's really. I thought about it in the gap, and she would be in the whole super adrenaline. There's soldiers. She's trapped in a fenced-in area. She's like a caged animal, and all that matters is lashing out and getting out of there.
We're about to have shortest character award for Sister B.
That's fine.
Shortest lifespan.
She's been around for a while, though.
She's been around for a while.
Oh, okay.
Like a season and a half?
Oh.
No, she hasn't been that long.
I don't think so.
Did she start the last season?
All right. Well, she hasn't died yet.
Listen, we all know that the shortest character is Ethan.
R.I.P. Ethan.
All right, Sister B. There's two military personnel running at you, carrying their guns, and you take a crack shot. We'll say that as you turn, they're going to be about 60 feet away. So Small firearms, take your roll.
She's got her Mauser, and it can shoot off clips. So she takes her first shot, and that is she's going to burn 2 luck to make it a hit.
You can't do that.
Oh, that's right, you can't. Never mind.
Sorry.
I forgot about that.
All right, so and they duck as she fires. That's not what they were expecting at all.
I wouldn't think so.
From the nun.
And the next one raises a rifle at you as he ducks and fires at you. Can you roll against it?
She can dodge.
Yeah.
She's got her gymnastic dodging, which is actually pretty good. So she does that, and easy, a hard success.
All right, and so he fires at you, and he essentially just misses. Right, the shock of being fired at by this nun, which he wasn't quite expecting, throws off his shot, and then they start running towards you again. But one of them kind of holding his rifle at the ready, while one of them tries to close the gap on you.
Okay. And will she negotiate? I don't know. Try to say no, she'll just shoot.
Okay.
So she shoots again. Oh my god. That is an extreme success.
All right. And so she fires it catches him right in the head, right in the forehead, and he goes down about 25 feet in front of you. But as he goes down, oh my goodness, shocked by his buddy, this is like just the other soldier starts calling for help. Help! We've got it. We've got an intruder on the base. Intruder on the base. And he fires another shot, but he misses at you because he's Jim. Are you? Oh my God! Help!
So this is where she was going to try to ask him to drop his weapon, but apparently he's just starting to yell. So she's gonna have to shoot again. She's in that mode.
And at this point, the back of the train is starting to disappear into that building, and now Sister B's exposed to the whole base as groups of people are running from across the base. Right? Does that make sense? So the train had kind of blocked.
Blocked the other side. Yeah, I get
block
it.
The other side. So now you have people running from other parts of the base towards you, and we'll cut back to the stagecoach.
Okay.
As it's pulling up in the Phil number 2, Phil number 3. Phil number 3 is talking to Sam and little Amos about all the fun they're going to have as the stagecoach pulls up in front of a sign that says Bawdy Bills and says, all right, all you, hop off here. These here will be your sleeping quarters for your stay in New Bloodstone. You're going to have a great old time. Remember, shootouts every day at high noon, middle of the street. Watch out for Pistol Pete. He'll get you every time. Sorry, Pete the Poet. Oops. And so the stagecoach comes to a halt, and it's not crowded, but there's kind of people milling about, and they're obviously like having a good time, and you hear a piano coming out of Bawdy Bill's, and and some saloon doors swinging as people walk in and out.
So to be clear, they took us to a specific hotel, so we got tourist trapped.
You would think of the whole town as one large tourist trap.
Okay.
So I'm going to look around to see if there are other hotels or if there's just the one hotel.
There's things all up and down the street, right? There
Okay.
appears to be like a store on the corner, and everybody. The people who are visiting stick out because everybody else seems to be in full Western regalia that fits with the time period.
Okay.
Is there okay? So presuming this is the only store. I mean, I'm just gonna go in with Amos. I'm gonna open the stagecoach door, put my hand up, and help Cheryl down and get the bags. And I guess Colette, if you're on your way out, I'd probably help you down as well. Should you, as a gentlemanly offer, and then head on inside with the family.
And Amanda says, "Huh. Notice you didn't offer me any help."
That's
Oh,
great.
I forgot you were in there. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's great. And
So
I'm sitting there. I'm like, wait, what about
independent.
me, Sam?
Wait, does Johnny help Amanda down?
Amanda does look at Johnny and says, "Well, if he won't be a gentleman, maybe you will be."
I got you. If you need it, I'll hold my hand up.
And she just she laughs and takes it as she gets out.
He doesn't like.
And then I'll hold it up for Buddy. I'll be like, come on, buddy. I got you too.
Sure. So
And then I get back in the stagecoach on the other side, and Buddy helps
And
me
then I'm
down.
Just
So
keep going.
Buddy's just going to be, looking around and sort of being passive, following either Johnny or Colette, whoever seems to take the lead here.
Well, Colette's looking around too, but more in a interested, I've never seen this side of the world type of way, and wanders toward Bawdy Bill's.
Okay. Buddy will go with.
All right.
I'll
And
follow.
and as you walk into Bawdy Bill's, you're just like, wow. Minus the kind of overwhelming unwashed smell of the time. It's pretty authentic. There's bartenders, and there's people playing poker, and there's music spilling out, and this younger, probably 17, 18-year-old kid runs up and he says, "Why, howdy, can I get your suitcases for you?"
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
please.
I was just going to hold on to my suitcase.
So,
I'm not that trusting.
what's your name, fella?
What?
Bill?
I'm Sammy.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
So good. Sammy, what a name. I love that name. Sammy, I got to ask. So is Bawdy Bill's connected to the hotel? Are they two separate places? Are there other hotels? You got to forgive me. I got on a train. I showed up here. I really don't know anything about this town. So can you help me out with a little bit?
Why, sure. What? New Bloodstone is a historic recreation of Bloodstone, situated about 3 miles east of here, maybe a little further. The keeper could be off. And as a recreation of Bloodstone, we have all the buildings and some of the original townsfolk as we know them from their notes. You can tour New Bloodstone just like you would in the Wild West. And right here at Bawdy Bill's, we've got shows every night. We got fresh drinks at the bar and rooms upstairs. No prostitutes, though. And he gives you a big wink.
That was awkward. Thank you for that there, Sammy. All right. So, yeah, I think we need rooms. I think everybody needs rooms. We don't have reservations. Is that going to be okay?
Not a problem at all. Right now in New Bloodstone, we're undergoing a whole new renovation, and we're testing out some of our newest features. And as such, Mr. Lohman has opened up the park for anybody who's willing to give it a try.
Park?
Who's Mr.
This-
Lohman?
Are we camping?
Well, Mr. Loman calls New Bloodstone the park of the future. You come here, you visit, you play, you have fun, you stay, and you eat.
I'm confused. You just said it's about the past. Now it's about the future.
It's the
Is
past
keeper
in the
confused?
future.
Poor Sammy.
Is the keeper confused or is Sammy confused?
And he looks at you and he goes, "You got a good sense of humor, mister. You're going to have a great time here in New Bloodstone."
Fantastic. All right. Yeah, I mean, I want to get checked in. I want to get my stuff settled in the room. So
Sure, same.
Okay. And so he takes y'all upstairs, and it's almost like a take your own locker kind of situation. There's keys in the doors to the rooms that aren't occupied. And so pick your room and keep your key, but don't lose it. You'll need it.
Okay. Buddy will grab a room.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully there's rooms near each other. So just
Yeah.
grab a room by you guys. And
Yeah, you notice there's a few like down the hall that are missing keys, but for the most part, in fact, Johnny, you'd probably make a quick assessment and think it's about 20 to 25% full.
Is there a room that would be overlooking the street?
Why, you're in luck, sir. We got one of those, but you'll have to take the catwalk across. That's used to be Bill himself's room.
Oh, that's very exciting. What is that over there?
Yeah, and so there's essentially not really. Well, it is. It's a catwalk across the top of over the top of the bar. So like if you were walking it, you
Whoa.
look over it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes to the other side, and there's one big room over there. There's only one door, and it has a key in it.
Okay, I'll go take that one.
Yeah, you will. And you notice that this one appears to be a little bit longer than all the others because it stretches.
Yeah,
It's probably like 2 or 3 rooms worth of space across the front of the building.
Okay. Wow, am I going to get charged a whole bunch for this?
I was going to say, I'm going to be like, listen, Sam, I got to
is
ask
the price
you a question.
is the price for this room a lot more than the other ones?
Same price for everything, mister. What's your name?
Perfect. Oh, I'm Buddy. It's very nice to meet you, Sammy.
Wow, buddy. Well, welcome to New Bloodstone. You're going to have a great time. And as he says that, we'll cut to Sister B having a great time of her own.
Oh.
All right. Well, it's not to go. Lots of people are coming towards her, and there's a soldier with a rifle, and she has her gun. And at this point, I had to think about it. And Sister B would just be in. She can't be captured, and so she'll go down in a blaze of glory if that's necessary. So she's going to shoot at the guy who was yelling because he's a loudmouth.
All right. So you're going Billy the Kid status, huh?
She is going. Yes, and Billy the Kid. Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. More
Yep.
like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I meant. All right. So not
Unless-
so lucky there.
Unless there was some other opportunity that she looked around and saw, that because she's always of that mindset. You know, if there's another way to wiggle out of something, she's very much of that mindset. But it doesn't seem to be. Chain link fence seems solid. There was the tunnel the train went into. Other than that, it seems pretty sparse around there. And other than that, if there's a manhole, right next to her, there's nothing. It doesn't seem to be anywhere to go. And she
Okay.
wouldn't have herself. She would never give up or be captured.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, as she fires off into the group of oncoming soldiers, you see everybody's heads duck, and as the bullet, you want to roll on that? Let's see if you connect with anybody.
Sure. The loudmouth guy. Oh man. Yeah, that's a regular hit.
Oh yeah. And so you catch him like right in the upper thigh, and he just goes rolling forward. You hear off to the side though a loud rifle crack, and you feel your torso turning as the bullet catches you, and you see him tumbling. There's a small glee in Sister B's mind as she feels herself taking down the soldiers who took the nuns away, right?
Exactly.
And then as
She's
that
she's like also like Willem Dafoe at the very end of running out of the woods with everyone behind her or around her.
Oh no.
The bullet catches you in your torso and you turn, you feel your body turning. And how much HP does Sister?
9. She was down. She only had over 10. So
Yeah,
not a lot.
Okay. And as the bullet catches her, she lands on the ground, back against the ground. Her money and her clothes flowing out of the open suitcase, blowing all around her. If you can imagine this overhead shot of Sister B laying near the fence. And what does Sister B see as her last moments of life go from her?
Oh, that would be easy. She would be in the garden when she was young. Once again, the vision she just had amongst the trees, and she would be feeding giving apricots to her younger brother Richard. And she says, "Oh, these are the best apricots we've ever had. This is the best season that we've ever had." And then she says, "Let's go to rest under the trees for a while." And she takes Richard, and she says, "We will sleep under the trees."
And he says,
together.
And he grabs your hand, and you hear him. No, you've been gone. You've been gone so long, Sister B. You've been gone so long, sister. It's wonderful that you are home finally at last.
And she gives him a big giant kiss on the forehead, and she says, "We'll be together. We will always be together forever. You knew that."
Okay. And then there's kind of a rush of soldiers over Sister B's stuff and confusion, and they're trying to resuscitate the one soldier, and they're kicking the gun away from you. And we'll cut over once more to New Bloodstone.
Sam, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, we would have gotten a room and tucked in, and then I guess it'd be asking to see if there's a place to get clothing that we could dress up, for
Quick
similar
question.
vibes.
Are you staying at Bawdy Bill's
I was
with
going to ask the
Little
same
Amos?
thing.
Yeah, I actually, I mean, we were gonna go in before y'all, but it's never mind. So I suppose we would have just gotten some rooms there in the proceedings.
Awesome. I think you broke Michael.
He's
Still
just
thinking
staring
about
ahead,
Sister
blinking.
B. I'm a little lost. I'm just like
So
thinking
funny.
about Sister B.
Are you thinking about the new sister hole that she has?
God.
No.
Honestly, I'm surprised you didn't end the episode there. How are we supposed to be all jaunty in tourist town after her death?
I mean, Sam's looking for a new hat for him and little Amos, so we're doing
course
just
he
fine.
is.
All right, so maybe we'll just, if you can tell me what each of your characters are doing, and then I'm going to close with one more Sister B thing, but
Okay.
I just wanted to get so Amos and Sam are trying on clothes, putting on hats and things like that.
Yeah, if there's like a local clothing store to dress up in the period clothing, and with Cheryl as well, if she'd like to join. I suppose it'd be all three of us. Yeah,
Absolutely. There's a clothier down the way, and it's not set. The clothing style is set in the period, but it feels like a very kind of new store inside.
sure. Yep. Okay.
So Colette would head downstairs to the common room or bar or whatever we're calling that down there, and talk to a bartender perhaps, and just ask what's in the town and start to figure out what she can do here as a tourist in New Bloodstone.
Okay.
Buddy would leave his large bag in his room and come downstairs with his shoulder bag with his copy of the Manchurian Candidate in it. And I would be very interested in talking to someone and finding out if there is a way to get to Old Bloodstone. What's still there, and is there a way to get there?
Sure. And what you're initially going to hear is, why would you want to go to New Bloodstone? There's so much here. I mean, why would you want to go to Old Bloodstone when there's so much here in New Bloodstone to find?
Well, I'm just very interested in history and seeing the actual relics of the town that led to such a fun town like this one.
We're a timber by timber recreation of Old Bloodstone. You can find it all here. All you're going to find over there is a government facility. Not open to the public, but New Bloodstone is. And then, Johnny, what are you doing?
And did I hear that conversation?
Sure.
Okay. So when I hear that there's a government facility, just quickly, and I don't know if you want me to roll on this, but was I aware in coming from the FBI that there was a government facility? I mean, if you
apparently you were, but it's a military base, not a whole lot of information about it. So
Okay.
You're aware there's a military base there
In Old Bloodstone.
in Old Bloodstone.
in Old Bloodstone. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go to the store and I'm looking for a nice big cowboy hat.
Perfect. And so you'll see Sam and Amos in there trying on their vests and their kind of gun belts with cap guns. Little Amos has got some cap guns going. And Johnny, you're gonna put a hat on your head and look in the mirror and think, damn, I look pretty good. All right, and then we're going to cut back to this overhead shot of Sister B. And Wayne, I want to give you a moment. Is there anything that you want in this scene or that you want? Yeah, go ahead. You know where I'm going.
So it's Sister to be, she was shot in her side if she flips over, but she's a pretty stout character, but she's bleeding and would be dying and, or whatever. And as the soldiers come to her, maybe there's an officer, I don't know. And she would look up, and, want to say something. And so I don't know how to facilitate that. If they come over, they'd be screaming and yelling at her.
Yeah,
so I'll let you take that part, and then I'll go with the other bit.
Just imagine they're screaming and yelling at each other. They're yelling at what happened to the guy back there, like what's going on. And does somebody have to flip you over? Do you envision, or are you already on your? I said you were on your back.
She was sitting. Yeah, she would have been sitting and would have turned herself onto her side at least, and then
so you're
looking up.
You have an older officer staring you right in the face, and what do you? He's almost just glaring at you, like with just shock.
And she says, "You, army men, you're the ones that took Richard. I think he is alive. Do you have him? Do you have Richard Bielopushkin, or he was known as Dr. Pushkin? That's her brother."
And he looks at the other soldier and what are you talking about?
And then her last words said, "You had him in train car," and she would, "Dr. Pushkin is in train car," and that would be the last she could talk.
Okay. And if we as we move from that scene, we can cut over to the body that she threw out of the train car onto the rocks. And its eyes flutter and its mouth moves and it says, "Richard," and we'll end the episode.
Wow. Poor Sister B. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. Until next time, as always, you can find us at underthelibrary.com. Definitely check out our other show. It's called Up Your RPG. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. And so for me, For Michael, for Wayne, Emily, Scott, and Rick, thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you next time under the library.
Oh, there was cocaine and steak. Disposable NPCs named Phil. I have to consult the rule book about something. It's like part Butch Cassidy and part, what's the one with Bruce Willis and Clint Eastwood, and Bruce Willis, like they have the kid in the back of the car, but they're robbers.
Oh wow.
Toy Story?
Welcome to New Bloodstone, all you newbies. You're gonna have a fine time.